What's up, YouTube? It's Young Men's Daily Red Pill, back with another upload. I appreciate you guys for clicking on my videos, sharing my content, liking my content, and just growing this brotherhood up, helping other guys take the red pill and go their own way as early as possible. That is my goal on this channel. If you're new to my channel, you already know that. That is what I'm all about. Just helping guys not make the same mistakes that I did. And what I wanted to talk about today is something that I speculated and I'm predicting will happen potentially in the future. Okay, because of the current situation in the United States and everything that's going on, quarantine, things being shut down, men having to step up to the plate more than ever, more so specifically the blue-collar man, the usefulness of the blue-collar man, and men that actually have to do manual labor, men that work in this country with hand, blood, sweat, and tears, that build things up, that work their tails off in order to keep everything moving and functioning. So I'm going to ask you guys this question before I get into this video. Do you think that the Rona, and you know what that stands for, do you think that the Rona will be able to stop or at least slow down feminism starting in 2020 and then beyond? Do you think that there is any chance that this virus will be able to stop and slow the progression of feminism? Before I get into what I think, I would like to hear you guys' opinion. So this is what I speculate and what I believe will happen because of the quarantine and everything being shut down. And this is my prediction for what will occur and if feminism will actually be affected by the current situation, what we're going through. So what I believe is, as we all know, men are the ones that build up this country. Men get things done, okay? Yes, women do contribute and they have children and they're nurturers by nature, and they can come alongside a man and help that man. However, it is the men that get things done. It is the men that built this country. It is the men that build things up. It is the men that basically keep the world moving. Whether you like it or not, that is just the case. And it's been that case for hundreds and hundreds of years. At least in nations that have prospered and thrived, men have been at the head, okay? Men have been at the head of nations that have thrived. Men have been the ones that are in charge. Men have been leaders, okay? And what we're seeing now with the rise of feminism as of late and everything that's going on, maybe it died down slightly because of everything that's going on. But what we see now is a lot of men are becoming soft. A lot of men are becoming male feminists, becoming pussified men, literally. They're becoming soft, weak-minded men. The issue with feminism is that feminism causes division, okay? Feminism causes there to be tension, chaos, and turmoil. If you think about it, even in your workplace or wherever you live, whatever you do, who tends to bicker the most? Who tends to cause the most arguments? Who tends to gossip the most? Who tends to stir the pot? Women, usually, okay? Now, not in all cases, but as a lot of you guys know, and even women will agree with this, women tend to cause a lot of strife, a lot of division, a lot of just chaos, unnecessary things. Things that necessarily don't need to be said, don't need to be talked about. They like to kind of stir the pot and get things. They like to kind of cause drama where it shouldn't be needed necessarily. And I believe that they were able to do this at a much faster and higher rate than before because there was no real pandemic. There was no real issue. They were liberated. They had all this time on their hands. They had the government backing them. They still do. Yes, they still do. We have the stimulus checks and all of that. They still do have the government and simp manginas backing them. But now that there's a pandemic, there's a real issue now. There's a real issue at hand. And this is the first time that a lot of women, for the first time, are going to have to really test their independency, even though a lot of them will be receiving stimulus checks or stimulus package, some type of government financial support, maybe from an ex-husband or a simp out there that wants to support them. But for the first time in a long time, women will have to step up to the plate and truly be financially independent, as they say they were, all right? And it'll be interesting to see how many of these women actually are able to follow through and are actually truly an independent woman after this is all said and done. And when something like a virus or something like what we're dealing with right now comes around, women are notoriously not very good at saving money. And I'm not sure when the last time you heard of a woman investing in the stock market or caring about investments or learning how to invest their money wisely. I literally can't name any women, at least my age or even younger, that are remotely interested in learning how to invest their money, learning how to save their money, learning how to make their money make money. It's really not on their top priority list. They would rather buy makeup, travel, and spend every paycheck. What I'm predicting will happen is I predict that women are going to put on, obviously, what they're really good at doing, manipulation fronts. Not all, but some will manipulate a lot of men out there. A lot of men will think that this woman is being nice to him. This woman wants to actually come around and deal with him and be friendly with him and maybe have something going on. But in reality, she's just using him for this time being, all right? She might even want to come over more often. She might start hitting you back up. She might start acting like she wants to actually be in a relationship with you and take you seriously as a potential partner or a spouse. But in reality, what you don't see is that she is simply using her female prerogative, her female advantage to manipulate you into taking her in and catering to her, taking care of her for the time being, and the time of uncertainty, the time which is now, where she didn't save that money that she maybe made from her job. She didn't save any of that money, so now she must go to the man that saved his money, the man that's worked hard, the man that sacrificed, the man that has basically ate crap his whole life in order to save up and build something up. And she must come to him, put on a front like she actually likes this guy, and then take from his resources. And they're not going to come out openly and tell you that they're doing this, but what you must understand is women are very, very good at manipulating, and they will make it seem as though they're actually interested in you. So I want you guys to understand that yes, you will have women come back into your life. I've talked about this before, how my stripper ex tried to come back into my life recently, and I had to cut that stuff down, you know what I'm saying? I had to cut it off. You guys have to be able to just completely quench your thirst and understand that these women weren't ready for this. They weren't prepared. The majority weren't prepared for a time of crisis like this. So what they're going to do is they're going to come back to you, especially if you used to be blue pill or beta, and they're going to think that you're still that beta male. They're going to think that you're still that beta guy that is willing to accept them and take them back regardless of what they've done in the past. And they're going to think that you have a short-term memory with them when in actuality you have a long-term memory, and you're going to remember that she discouraged you from starting your own business. She discouraged you from breaking up with her. She tried to manipulate you in the relationship, but now it's been a few years and stuff's hit the fan, the government's collapsed, she doesn't have a job, so she's going to come around and try to leech off of you. You have to understand these things. You have to understand that her love for you is based off of how you can help her. Her love for you is based off of what you can provide for her in that moment. And right now in that moment, we are dealing with a pandemic. So they're going to try to come back. They're going to try to manipulate you in any way possible. They might even offer you sex. They might even give you sex. Don't fall for it, man. Especially now, if you're a man on your purpose, she's going to try to get pregnant. And then guess what? Like I talked about earlier in my 80-20 turning to 90-10 rule, as soon as this virus ends, mark my words, the women that are talking to you will not show up. They will be nowhere to be found. Because they weren't even interested in you. They were interested in you helping them through this crisis, but as soon as she gets back on her feet, or the government gives her another stimulus check, or she's finally able to get her job back, now she doesn't need you anymore. Now she's able to just get rid of you. So you have to understand that as a man, that her flirting with you, her wanting to come back into your life and make things better, rekindle the flame, that's all just talk. That's all just to get you back into the plantation, to manipulate you and to make you basically become her slave again. So you have to understand these things. Don't think that you're special. Do not think that you're special for one moment. Because as soon as you think that you're special, she's going to manipulate you. If she sees any sign of weakness, if she sees any bit of kindness in your heart. You have to be a cold-hearted killer, savage out here, man. It's 2020. You have to. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Like ever. There should never have been a nice guy, but especially now, you have to be a savage. You can't be feeling bad for no type of broads. None of them. Nothing. You got to just be stone cold. Because guess what? If she had the upper hand, which she has had with her looks and her fertility and her virtue at an early age, how does she treat you? How does she treat you? Majority don't treat you very well, right? Majority would just walk all over you. Majority would manipulate you. And they had the upper hand. So now that we have the upper hand, what are we going to do with that power that we've earned. Understand this, man. Understand that this woman that you're dealing with, as soon as she gets back on her feet, she will leave you for that 10% man. Because now she's ready for that next pandemic to happen. And she saw that, oh, maybe this guy doesn't really have everything I need together, everything that these guys on social media have. Because women think about social media all the time. They compare us to men on social media. It's unrealistic. So they're going to look for that man that's really not even there. That's not existent. That's not even checking for her either. So keep that in mind and remember this as a man when you go your own way. Don't let anyone back in. Nothing. No one. No matter what they offer, no matter what they say, no matter how many times they send you pictures, videos, whatever it is to try to get you to reel you back in, don't fall for it. I don't care what she offers you. It's not worth your time, your energy, your resources, your money. You are a man. You should go your own way. You should be taking the red pill every day so you don't fall back into the trap. Because trust me, they're going to be coming. If they already haven't, they're going to be coming in a month from now when things still haven't opened back up. And the expectations are going to be even higher. I'm telling you guys, the expectations are going to be even higher than they were before. She's going to look at you and think, if something like this happens again, where everything's quarantined, can this man really provide for me? When I see these guys on social media, because this is how she thinks, I see these guys on social media on vacations, in their mansions, having multiple women at once, really taking care of themselves and living their own lives, when that's all just a fantasy. They think that they're Instagram models. You log on to any girl's Instagram and she thinks that she's an Instagram model. That's the reality of the situation we're living in. Don't fall for it, man. Feminism will slow down right now, but trust me, as soon as the doors open back up, as soon as everything goes back to how it used to be, we will be right back at square one. Or at least in a few years from now, we will be right back at square one, where women can disrespect you, talk to you however they want, because now there's no times for crisis. There's no time of crisis. It's all a front, just to trap you as a man. So just be aware of that, all right? I'm not saying all women will do this, but majority will. Majority will. And women are very good manipulators. Understand this, apply it to your life, keep improving yourself. Don't sabotage what you've built up during this downtime over some chick. Don't jeopardize that. Constantly be improving, constantly be working on something to better yourself as a man. For yourself. Not for anyone else but yourself. Continue to go your own way. Continue to take the red pill every day. Love you all. Stay blessed. I'm out.